Another green screen on the Football Trading Profits Telegram service. Not a moment's worry apart from the first 82 minutes. The Saints holding on for dear life. Bring on Ahmad. Nice quick hat-trick. This we got out at 2-1. You don't want a late Southampton scare. Yet another green screen. Lovely to see. If you fancy a bit of that, join Football Trading Profits by clicking the link at the website. And don't forget, you also have the option of signing up for the free e-letter, which will provide you with Premier League research, as I have done for the last 3 days. And there it is. Betfair Trading Made Easy. You'll see all the links in the description in the video below. Premier League research and a free trading course. And I'll start to resurrect the e-letters on a Friday, which will just give you some insights into what we do at footballtradingprofits.com. Well, what we do mostly is create green screens so you can make some money. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Football Trading Profits. Any free live stream you'll be alerted to instantly if you subscribe to the website. So looking at yesterday, could have laid the draw second half there. I was a little cautious because all of Ipswich's 3 goals in the second half in their last match were all penalties. What if a penalty wasn't awarded on this occasion? But if you did lay the draw, the right team scored first, the favourite, and you could have got out. You know very well what happened here. Amad Diallo turning up. This was your first alert that it might not be a deserved lead for the Saints, an own goal. Take insurance out, members will know what I'm talking about. That will leave you okay. Diallo goal had a small loss on the draw to tempt you in for the 42 quid profit. And don't forget, the profit is only relative to the amount staked. So you want more profit, you stake more. Shrewsbury and Wrexham. The one thing I don't like about this is the fact it was League One. The Shrews lead care of a penalty. Although Wrexham did come from behind straight away, Marquis missed a penalty. Somebody did dispatch a penalty. No, he must have followed up and scored. Excellent stuff. You could have actually taken out the insurance on this scoreline and laid the Shrews and got out of here with a break even. They had, well, they were holding on for dear life at the end, but well done to Shrewsbury. Much needed win. If you look at their league position now, they're still in the relegation zone. But they're bringing Bristol Rovers into the equation, albeit Bristol Rovers have a game in hand. Today, normally my day off because I will work weekends for members of footballtradingprofits.com. Looking at the French League 1. Bonjour, Rodders. Monaco, the Côte d'Azur side, away at Montpellier. Let's take a look at one or two of these using our old pals, soccerstats.com. French League 1. Montpellier and Monaco. You've got an obvious slant towards the away side, but is it justified in the seasonal form? This is where Soccer Stats will reveal all. Well, Montpellier only 2 wins all season, requiring 3 goals. But at home, they have been filling their boots a little bit, haven't they? Against decent opponents, Lille and Nice. Nice, another Côte d'Azur side. So a 2-2 and a 2-2 and a 3-1 win in 3 of the last 4 home matches. So interesting to note that. Monaco, though, it takes a big side to beat them, generally speaking. But they have fallen foul of 2 Côte d'Azur sides. So Côte d'Azur derbies, you know all about derbies. Not the most reliable bits of form. Nice and Marseille, all Côte d'Azur derbies. And then you've got Paris Saint-Germain and Angers. Just looks like Angers nicked it. So in pretty solid form, but a bit poor away from home of late. Only the one win since the 27th of October. Put it into perspective, that's where the challenge table will come in. And you can see 3 of the 4 defeats have come at the top 4. So no alarm bells at all. It was a 2-1 win the last time these two met at Monaco. So Montpellier might put up a good fight. Note those 2-2 results recently as well for Montpellier against 4th and 5th. So it does suggest some fight. But the result against Marseille is rather telling as well. The form against the top 8 for Montpellier at home suggests they're going to concede at least 2 goals. So even if they're leading 2-0, I think they could be vulnerable here today. Looking at goal times, always useful because it can give you a handle in and a look, and you can see Monaco very strong in the last 15 minutes of away matches. So if somehow Montpellier are leading or drawing, they might be vulnerable in the last 15. Montpellier do most of their conceding in the first half, 59%. So just be wary of that. Not as clear cut as the odds suggest, is it? Those 2-2s recently have come against sides around Monaco in the league. Lille and Nice, don't fancy this one. 2 big sides. You can pick your battles when you're a trader. The market makers have to make up each match. You don't have to. You can pick your battles. I don't like what I'm seeing here. 2 decent enough sides. You can see. Let's have a look at recent form, and you can see only sporadic defeats for both. Notable case of draw-itis for Lille is a concern for them. Nice have been scoring for fun of late. 2+ goals scored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the last 9 matches for Nice. That could be the difference today. They're on a run of over 2.5 goals. Lille are not. Moving on down, no defeat in 13, plays no defeat in 4. Both teams have scored in the last 7 matches for Nice. It's contrasting with Lille, isn't it? So this is a problem with Lille today. It's a case of draw-itis. They haven't scored that second goal when they've met the top 6 at home. Nice, well, they are vulnerable to the top 7 away, aren't they? They've not scored that second goal against the top 10 away from home. They failed to score in 2 matches. So an interesting match, 2 sides in decent form, but I can't split them personally myself. That draw-itis for Lille might come back and bite them on the behind. 2.4, the favourite in the Bundesliga, just tells you to be extra cautious with Frankfurt against Dortmund. Again, it's very early in the video, so why don't I treat you to a look at this match. Frankfurt against Dortmund, again, 2 big sides. Don't forget, are these 2 sides involved in the upcoming Champions League? Even on a Friday, it could be a distraction. Well, we've got Bayer Leverkusen, we've got Dortmund playing Bologna. So just watch out, okay? They're away from home, Dortmund. They're in the Champions League on Tuesday. We've seen sides cock things up on a Friday prior to the Champions League. So you've got to be very careful. Highly unlikely we'll see any of the others. But I thought Frankfurt were involved in Europe in some capacity. So be careful. Pre-Champions League for Dortmund. That automatically has me thinking Frank could take advantage of this. They're in a good bit of form post-winter break. That was an emphatic win against Freiburg, and it was flagged up with the in-play stats as well. And it was a good trade if you got involved, with Freiburg scoring first. But Dortmund, 7 goals conceded, and that was a weird one, wasn't it? But 3-0 down at half-time. I hope you got involved and laid Holstein Kiel, because you've got a nice tune out of that one. So for me, it's automatically, I'm not going to be researching pre-Champions League. Got to be very careful. 2.4 the favourite as well. Okay, that's probably why the market's a little lukewarm in that particular match. New manager for Roma, so we don't look at their seasonal form. We only look at their form under the Tinkerman, Claudio Ranieri, and he's been getting a good tune out of the Romans. And what have the Romans ever done for us? Let's have a look. This is overall for Roma. You can see a nice unbeaten run, only beaten by Como under Claudio Ranieri. This is where he started off, a 4-1 win against Lecce. You can see he's unlocked that forward line, hasn't he, on a regular basis. Getting a win in the Roman derby as well won't do him any harm in front of support. At home, under the Tinkerman, and it's pretty solid. 4-3-4-5-2. Looking at Genoa overall, this isn't quite as detailed as soccerstats.com, is it? But this is a quick go-to if you fancy it. They've only really lost to Napoli recently, so they look to be set up to be tough to beat, don't they? Not conceding that two goals regularly, only the once since the 1st of December. So the Tinkerman is going to have to hope. Well, looking at Genoa away, and they're not too shabby either. A couple of 0-0s, and against AC Milan as well, suggesting they're very well drilled defensively. Clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet. So the Tinkerman, we better hope that that attack is working. The in-play stats will clearly indicate that tonight. This looks like attack v defence, doesn't it? Espanyol against Valladolid. Tough one. I don't know these sides very well, but I know a website that does. Let's have a quick look there. Espanyol, Valladolid. There's more detailed research for members of footballtradingprofits.com at the website. This is a statistical look. 3 consecutive home draws for Espanyol. Valladolid, 2 consecutive home wins, but Valladolid winning very infrequently. When they do win, 3 of their wins have been 1-0 only. So they do need that defence to turn up, and note those 1-1s as well for Espanyol, suggesting we might not see a 1-0 today. Looking at these two, well, it's a relegation 6-pointer, and that automatically puts me off as well. It's still early enough in the season, but it is a relegation 6-pointer. It could do the world of difference to these two to get 3 points. Espanyol in the bag against 16th and lower, unbeaten. Only the 1 defeat against 9th and lower at home. They look comfortable at home, but Valladolid, if they do win, well, they tend to win against 17th and lower, but they do tend to concede 2 goals against 12th and lower. So an interesting match, a relegation 6-pointer this one, and form lines might be thrown out of the window. So on paper, it's not as simple a coupon today, is it? We've got the Champions League to think about, etc. Valladolid, extremely worrying last half hour of matches, 13 goals conceded away from home. So that's another tricky one. This is a quick roundup of what else might interest you this evening, as I've got the heater on. This is not Thailand. Ghent and Charleroi, 2.05 the favourite, not going to be top of the list. Burnley against Sunderland. This could be another one of those derby style matches. I think these two are flying high, aren't they? Let's have a look. Burnley 2nd, Sunderland 4th. So already we've got a top 4 clash. So it's not an easy coupon this evening, is it? These two could cancel each other out. Burnley have lost only 2 matches, including a 1-0 defeat to Sunderland already this season, coming away from home. So they're unbeaten at home. They do tend to rely on that defence. Look at those clean sheets. Boom. Boom. 4 consecutive clean sheets. Solid stuff. Sunderland, a couple of consecutive home wins. 1-0 loss to Stoke, 90th minute goal. So they are more vulnerable away from home, Sunderland. Failed to score, failed to score, failed to score, failed to score. And in the meantime, scoring 2 or 3. The challenge table will tell you the kind of patterns they have against top sides. No defeat 13 for Burnley. This is going to be one of those matches. They haven't met the top 4 yet at home, but they've got 1-1 draws against 5th and 6th. Again, question marks tonight. We don't have any collateral form against the top 4. Okay, that's a worry. Sunderland, 2 defeats against the top 8 away from home. and a 2-2 against fifth. It's inconclusive. It's a top four clash. It's a tricky one. They could cancel each other out. So this is be all about the in-play stats tonight. But do note the late goal scoring for Burnley. But note also they've not really met the top four. So these goals are coming against sides outside of the top four. It's all second half go for the Black Cats, as you can see there. 12 goals scored, 71% of goals scored, 71% of goals conceded have come in the second half. They are extremely vulnerable in the last 15 minutes. If they're not working on that, note that Burnley have scored 5 goals in the last 15 minutes. So if it's a 0-1 lead for Sunderland coming into the 75th minute, or a single goal lead for Sunderland coming into the 75th minute, you might lay them, might get a nice short odds lay. So that for me has the touch of a derby style match about it, a top four clash. Harrogate and Cheltenham, well, the lower down the leagues you go, the more wobblier the form lines. You saw that yesterday with the Shrews against Wrexham. French League 2, 2.38, 2.35, 2.3, 2.63 the favourite. The market's already telling you this is extremely difficult. Martigues, newly promoted, look vulnerable. So that automatically is a standout for me. Grenoble, where are they? We can actually get a flight to Grenoble from Guernsey, a direct flight. So I don't think I'll be going to watch this match. Ninth against bottom. Newly promoted, and struggling. Grenoble, well, go to 27 points with a win today. Need to be aiming for the 30s if they've got any chance of going up into the League 1. So a difficult coupon in French League 2. German Bundesliga 2. We have ways of making you draw the match. Hanover are away to Regensburg. I think Regensburg newly promoted. Fortuna Dusseldorf, weren't they relegated? Against Darmstadt. 2 ex-Bundesliga sides. I'm not sure how recent they are, but 2.35 the favourite suggests a tricky one. Regensburg and Hanover, let's have a look at that one. 1.83 to the away side. Why are the away side odds on? Bundesliga 2, you'll see at soccerstats.com. Regensburg and Hanover. Few stats and matches for both teams. We can have a quick look at this one. Only the 3 wins all season for Regensburg, but they have come at home. 2 of them 1-0 only. Hanover winning a lot more, but notably are a bit poor away from home. Only the 1 win away from home. So that, again, not a clear-cut match, is it? Such poor form on the road for Hanover, including a failing to score against 14th and lower away from home, despite a 2-0 win against Regensburg already this season. That's what the market seems to have latched onto. But it's at home where Hanover do all their good work. Regensburg, well, if they are to win, it's going to be at home. But you suspect that inability to consistently score that second goal. You saw it with Southampton yesterday. That could leave them vulnerable. So if Regensburg do score first today, you might cover the insurance and hope that they don't score 2 consecutive goals, because it's a very rare occurrence. It's only occurred twice this season. But Hanover look very poor on the road, particularly against strugglers where they've failed to score. So difficult match. Not really the form of a 1.83 favourite, is it? Any goal times? Well, you can automatically see where Regensburg are at the most vulnerable in the last 15 minutes of matches. So again, if they're leading late on, you might get a nice short odds, low liability lay. Sampdoria, well, what's gone wrong with Samp? Gone from Serie A to Serie B. 2.45 the favourite suggests you leave that alone. The Dutch Eerste Divisie, I tend to do both teams to score and over 2.5 goals accumulator here, just for a bit of Friday fun. Soon we'll have the Irish leagues back in time for the summer break. Benfica and Famalicão, this looks a very obvious home win. Don't forget 1.18 brings with it certain conditions or expectations, at least 3+ goals for Benfica today. Hearts, 1.1 favourites in the Scottish Cup, but you've seen the Cup is absolute mayhem. Normally my day off today, but if I'm up and about in the evening, I think I'm out with my brother this evening. We're off to hit some golf balls. So probably not trading this evening, but it's an interesting coupon, but it's also a coupon full of potential woes. I don't know if Lille are still in the Champions League. Ditto Monaco. You'll have to look out for that. The way you can find out future matches is at soccerway.com. Got to make sure that there's no European distraction, or at least you know if there is European distraction. For Monaco, how about a bit of that? Champions League against Aston Villa on the 21st. So you've got to be ever so careful with these Champions League sides prior to a Champions League match. Lille and Nice, we can have a quick look at that before I depart. Lille and Nice. Liverpool, a certain Liverpool FC on the 21st for Lille, and for Nice, they're in the Europa League against Elfsborg. So both sides have potential Champions League and Europa League distractions. So you've got to be ever so careful with these sides, and Dortmund as well. That's probably why they're playing on a Friday, because they're playing on a Tuesday in Europe. So be very careful. Some sides can simply not turn up. So if you fancy a bit of these green screens, then come along to footballtradingprofits.com, or at the very least, sign up for the e-letter and the free Premier League research, or make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/@footballtradingprofits. Have a great Friday. I might see members over on the profit making Telegram later on.